Now on CoastTV News.
The super soaker of a storm is winding down. We do get a chance to dry out for a couple of days with another rainy system on the way for Saturday. I'll track this last round of rain on FutureCast coming up.
Change near Milton, the recent decision by Sussex County that could bring new business near the banks of the Broadkill River.
Crime, changes, and challenges. What we're learning about all of that from Ocean City's police department.
Regulating Rehoboth beach basements as homeowners look to convert them into living spaces. City officials are saying not so fast.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. It is Thursday, March 7th, 2024. Good morning. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Paige Marley.
Yeah, Paige, and we've been talking about the rain and the puddles. We're dealing with the aftermath of all that rain. The puddles are, maybe I like to call them mini lakes.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, depending on your definition. They are out there on the roads. You saw them this morning.
I saw a good bit. My car, I'm a little worried to turn her on later. We'll see what happened because, you know, good old Delaware, southern Delaware, you can't really see that well before the sun is up. So that's a problem for another day. The problem for this morning is getting it to work safely.
You got an ongoing beef with some
I have an ongoing beef.
And lights.
Well, how many times am I going to drive through the same puddles? Maybe it's my own fault. I should keep track of where they tend to pool. But again, a conversation for another day. But the good news is, as the sun comes up, those puddles should dry up this morning. Let's bring in Bob. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, guys. You know, we need a big neon sign saying, Paige, watch out for puddles, because we are seeing a lot of that water encroaching from fields, from ditches into the roads as well. And that will be the hazard as we go through this morning as a steady to heavy rain has gone. And we're seeing cloudy skies, some blips of green showing up, so still a little bit of drizzle, light rain is possible early this morning and then drying out as a main rain has now pushed off to the northeast, but still unsettled weather over the top of us will keep the clouds in here much of the day. Out the door, lower 50s right now, Salisbury 53, Georgetown 52, Bethany Beach 51, and we've got the winds coming out of the northwest at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, so that's a drier wind direction, and we will slowly dry out. A little bit of drizzle this morning, but the winds pick up out of the north as we go through the day. So upper 50s around noon, maybe 60 around Del Mar, colder along the beaches, and then a northeast wind, well, will cool us off into the afternoon and evening with the cloudy skies. So riding on the ferry, bundle up, and could be a little drizzle this morning. Otherwise, cloudy skies and temperatures in the 50s, and those winds pretty strong out of the north at around 15 miles per hour.
Thank you, Bob. Big plans are being proposed for this land that sits off of routes 1 and 16 in Milton. Property, it's near the Rookery Golf Course.
The land has been the subject of debate for a couple of years now, and its possible uses are getting mixed reaction from neighbors. Coast TV's Charles Reinert shows us what the land could have in store.
These 65 acres behind me here are moving forward with something new, but that something new isn't entirely clear yet. Now, the developer Ocean One Holdings LLC has not supplied site plans yet for what they want to do, but Sussex County Council did approve the zone change from agricultural residential zoning to commercial district zoning. That would open the door to a lot of different things, from a gas station to even a water park. One person I spoke with today said he's open to the change right outside of Milton's town limits.
This is an area that's growing, and I think there's I know my neighbors here would probably welcome a new shopping center. We're kind of limited on what we can do here, especially like places to eat.
Since this development is right by where DelDOT is building its new overpass at routes 1 and 16, the developer will have to work with the agency to tie the roads into that new overpass. I'm Charles Reinert in Milton, Coast TV News.
To Ocean City, where the police department there released their annual report detailing the crimes committed in the town over the past year. And according to the report, special enforcement and narcotics arrests down by 15%, but major crimes are up by 6%. We went to Ocean City to learn how people feel about this, and one woman who works in the town thinks police could take a little more initiative when on patrol.
I was walking home from Montego Bay, and I didn't feel necessarily safe, and I saw a police officer along the side of the road, and I do wish that he had stopped and asked if I was okay.
That's a small kind of change that some community members say would make a big difference in the perception of safety in Ocean City.
It's not just that data, though. The report listed a number of police initiatives, so let's walk you through this. According to that report, Ocean City Police do security checks at people's homes, and they run a bicycle registration program, the goal being to fight against theft. They also offer free classes to learn about police work. The department runs a program to prevent trespassing, and they're also working to help people in town, along with training officers to spot drunk or high drivers.
And this does bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what is your top priority for tackling crime in Ocean City?
Not too much of a change since we last checked in on our poll. Most of you still, 83% of you say increased policing, 10% of you stricter laws, 3% better education, just 4% community programs. Again, no question what most of you are voting for. If you haven't voted yet, though, you want to give your opinion, you still can. Go to coasttv.com/vote or head to our mobile app. Sussex County leaders have renewed a contract with Delaware State Police to act as the county's police force. At a recent county council meeting, the council agreed to work with the state for at least 3 more years. Sussex County has been doing this since the 1990s. According to county officials, they will pay over $4 million this year so that there are enough officers around. They also plan to add more officers over the next 3 years.
New out of the Delaware General Assembly, some protection for victims of sexual assault, harassment, and discrimination. House Bill 327 was introduced on Wednesday, and it places a higher burden of proof in retaliatory lawsuits. To break that down for you, these are lawsuits filed against the victim by the accused. And in the event of a settlement, it does block information about the assault, harassment, or discrimination from being made public. The bill is now under review in the Judiciary Committee.
Happening tomorrow in Lewis, city leaders meeting to map out how Lewis will spend its money next year. At 9 a.m. at City Hall, Mayor and City Council will talk about the city's budget for 2025. They'll be looking at what's changed since their last meeting, explore new ways to make money, and decide how to spend that money. The current proposed budget plan focuses on city safety, activities for children, and improving public spaces like nature trails.
In Rehoboth Beach, uninhabitable basements are apparently becoming a growing problem there. City commissioners are raising concerns about the trend of converting basements into living spaces without the right safety measures. And they say these spaces are often below 6-foot 6-inch ceiling height requirement. And during a recent meeting, Building Inspector Cody Shinko highlighted that about 2/3 of the new homes built annually in Rehoboth Beach have these unfinished basements. The city made recommendations that include clearer definitions for basements and crawl spaces. No decisions were made at that meeting, but further discussion and a draft ordinance is expected.
We have an update now from a tragic accident that happened Tuesday morning in Lewis. Delaware State Police have identified 58-year-old Lisa Norton of Lewis as the woman who died. According to police, Norton was riding a bike on Route 24 when she crossed in front of a truck. Troopers say that caused the truck to crash into her, and she died at the scene. The 60-year-old truck driver from Salisbury was not hurt.
Delaware Electric Co-op says scammers are attempting to get information from its customers. The scammer claims to offer members 30% off their electric bill if they give their debit card information. So if you think you've been scammed or have questions, you're asked to contact the co-op directly. As we just learned this week, the imposter scams like this, they are a leading type of fraud in Delaware.
As former presidential candidate Nikki Haley drops out of the race, Maryland and Delaware voters have a lot to think about. So here are the key dates to follow for the primary elections in both states. Delaware's presidential primary is scheduled for Tuesday, April 2nd. Those polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the Maryland primary will be held Tuesday, May 14th. And like Delaware, voters can hit the polls from 7 to 8 p.m.
We're now taking you live to our nation's capital. It's in that building right there that later tonight, President Biden will deliver the State of the Union address. And the president is expected to focus on the economy, push more abortion access for women, and ask for more American taxpayer money for Ukraine.
This comes hot off a string of wins on Super Tuesday. NBC's Bree Jackson shows us what Biden is expected to address in this year's speech.
From investments in infrastructure projects to lowering prescription drug prices. During his State of the Union address tonight, President Biden is expected to tout how his administration's policies are making a positive difference in Americans' lives.
The president will outline an agenda that is about continuing to build on the progress that we've made over the last 3 years.
Administration officials say the president will also lay out his priorities, ranging from creating a fairer tax system to tackling divisive issues like a woman's right to choose.
Protecting women's reproductive health in the face of relentless attacks from Republican elected officials.
Senator Katie Britt from Alabama is set to deliver the Republican response. The GOP argues the Biden administration's policies are doing more harm than good.
If you had to describe in one word what you believe the State of the Union is, You've heard the word crisis, you've heard catastrophe. I think maybe a summary is decline.
From the southern border to the economy to foreign policy, the facts are quite clear. Joe Biden has failed on every single issue.
Millions of Americans will be watching as the race for the White House comes into clear view, a rematch between President Biden and former President Trump. Tonight, the president will attempt to ease voters' concerns and make his case for re-election. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
We're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Coming up, Eager for Eagles will show you why the Delaware Botanic Gardens is raising money for cameras at their facility.
Also feeding students in need. We're telling you how many meals were packed up by volunteers yesterday.
And this popular restaurant plans to reopen soon. It was hit by lightning last year, and we have the big weekend. The restaurant says it will make its return. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Get ready for the ultimate outdoor experience. Join us for the DSN Outdoors Expo on Friday, April 19th from 4 to 8 and Saturday, April 20th from 10 to 4. Showcase your products or services to thousands of potential customers at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. Increase your brand awareness and reach a large audience at the DSN Outdoors Expo. To apply as a vendor and for more information, visit WBOCEvents.com.
When your job feels humdrum, you can still find that fun.
I take a chance, I do.
Or you spend the whole day working that 5-game parlay.
I'll take Philly +2.
Yes. When taking a chance becomes a victory dance,
It's so fun to do.
or you go money line, it comes through, you feel fun.
More than fun, it's true.
Life would be dull if we never took a chance. Bet Rivers. Take a chance.
16 years ago, we founded Community Bank Delaware with the goal of providing high-quality banking services to our local community. Here you meet with decision makers, people just like you who live in and love this community. We provide the newest banking technologies to our customers, supported by our local team of banking professionals. Our bank serves clients throughout Sussex County, and we continue to grow, all thanks to you. Community Bank Delaware, where community matters.
From empty nester to first home, Accessible Home Builders does it all.
It was great working with Scott at Accessible Builders. He called us every Monday and asked us to come over to the house at each step of the way during the construction of our home.
It was pretty unique working with Scott because not only is he the owner, but he was working in here hands-on with his employees and really just trying to make our vision come to life.
Design your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
6:13 on this Thursday morning, and sunrise in about 10 minutes. Not going to see it as we have overcast skies right now. Boardwalk Plaza Camp, 52 in Rehoboth. Still some lingering drizzle, some patchy light rain as we still have some unsettled weather over us, but the bulk of the real heavy weather has moved off to our north and east, and I think we will dry out as we go through the day. We're looking at lower 50s out the door with a northwesterly breeze, so eventually we will dry out, but it's going to be a wet run if you're going for a run and jog this morning. Watch out for those big puddles. We're looking at cloudy skies, some patchy light rain and drizzle early this morning, then overcast with temperatures slowly climbing through the 50s with a stiff northerly wind.
Paving work soon to begin in Laurel. DelDOT says it will require lane closures in the area. Oh, hi.
Here we go, Matt.
And there we go. Okay. Let's continue on that one. So DelDOT says it will require lane closures in that area, and we'll start on Central Avenue from Market Street to Poplar Street and Georgetown Road. 4 more streets are slated for this project. Crews will begin work on March 18th. That will go through August 18th. A big construction project kicking off in Salisbury. The work will take place at the intersection of Route 12 and Robbins Avenue. Promises safer roads and smoother traffic. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration has announced over a $3 million initiative to improve the area by the end of the year. The department says improvements include a new left turn lane on northbound Route 12, dedicated turn lanes on Robbins Avenue, a traffic signal, and more. You may remember back in June of 2023, Smoker's Barbecue Pit in Ocean City. It was hit by lightning, suffered a lot of damage because of a fire. We're going to show you some of that damage from these photos. And at the time, the restaurant posted, quote, We need time to rebuild and come back better than ever, and we'll see you soon. Well, we have a new announcement. It was on Smoker's Facebook page recently, and it says, quote, drum roll, please. After a very long wait, they're pleased to announce the grand reopening coming up. Come and get some. The restaurant is opening back up St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Oscar Mayer releasing meatless hot dogs and sausages. You heard that right. The Kraft Heinz owned brand says the vegan not hot dogs and not sausage have a smoky and savory taste that still mirrors the regular versions. Those will be rolling out nationwide later this year. Kraft amped up its partnership with Not Co. for the plant-based foods. Mattel releasing 8 new dolls to kick off the 65th anniversary of Barbie. In honor of International Women's Day, the dolls are based off women who inspire girls through storytelling and encourage them to be brave, confident, and daring. They include some stars like Viola Davis and Dame Helen Mirren. International Women's Day is coming up on Friday, and Barbie's anniversary and her birthday is on Saturday. Still to come, feeding students in need. We're telling you why one volunteer at the Milford Food Bank says its programs for students are so important.
The steady rain is over, but still pretty damp out there. Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam showing the clouds, and watch out for large puddles this morning. Otherwise, a brief dry period for a couple of days, then the last in a series of rainstorms for Saturday. Sunday looks better. I'll have the details after the break.
Join us for the Coast Country Cares Supply Drive for Operation We Care on Saturday, March 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Hawker's G&E Supermarket in Bethany Beach. Help pack care boxes full of snacks, personal items, and more for first responders. Let's show how much we appreciate those who go above and beyond for our community. See you on Saturday, March 23rd from 11 to 1 in Bethany Beach. For more information, go to coastcountry.com. Coast Country Cares, sponsored by Spicer Brothers.
Whatever your struggle, there's hope. Call Homes for Hope to schedule your same-day appointment.
I have no calluses, 40 years of turning letters, they're still soft.
Well, it's not like you're changing tires.
Thursday at 7 on Coast TV.
Next Jeopardy! It's the semifinals of the Tournament of Champions. When anything can happen, one thing is certain.
We are in for a wild ride.
Next Jeopardy!
Thursday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
The weather is brought to you by Spicer Brothers Construction. Born here to serve here. Are leaves and debris causing issues with your gutter? No need to risk climbing a shaky ladder ever again. We have the permanent solution. Gutter Helmet, America's #1 choice in gutter protection for over 40 years. Engineered to manage the heaviest of rainfalls, letting water flow freely. And the best part, never clean your gutters again, guaranteed. The lifetime warranty is transferable, so you can rest assured that you'll never have to replace your gutter helmet system. And right now, save 20% on your new gutters and gutter helmet. Call Gutter Helmet today for your free estimate.
It's 6:19 right now, and in the middle of your screen, we are showing you a live look at Ocean View. A little bit lighter there as the sun is attempting to make its way up. Despite the dampness, Bob, at least we're not dealing with those colder temperatures.
No, not too cold, but I think the colder weather will return early next week, Matt. Maybe even a little frosty by the early part of next week. So we're not done with the cold, frosty mornings yet. Make sure you scan the QR code right there. That will get you to the Coast TV weather app. And here's our 5-day temperature trend. Average high now is 52. I'm picking around 59 inland areas today. Cooler along the coast, around 53 on Friday. Saturday around 55, and then Sunday 54, and then cooling down to 52 on Monday. So temperatures overall a little bit above average as we're looking at a lot of clouds out there right now. We have a few blips of green on the radar as the main rain is now gone, but we're still looking at unsettled weather. So it's still possible we get a little bit of drizzle or light rain this morning. You can see some of the green rotating around D.C. and much of the mid-Atlantic region. While farther to the north, that's where we have all the action with the rain and even snow into far northern New England. Cleveland. And we're looking at kind of a dry slot back to our western clearing, back through the Ohio Valley and the southeast. That will be tomorrow's weather as we'll finally see some sunshine. Temperatures out the door. We're looking at into the low 50s right now. Salisbury 53, 52 in Georgetown, 51 in Ocean Pines, Bethany Beach at 52. And well, northwest winds pretty light right now. So we're looking at a lot of clouds, a little patchy drizzle this morning. The wind's picking up out of the north as we go through the morning hours. And I think around late morning, early afternoon, 60 in Seaford, 57 in Millsboro, 40s and low 50s a little bit farther to the east. And then falling temperatures into the afternoon with the clouds and a northeast wind. And I think we do clear it out a little bit through the overnight hours by Friday morning, looking at temperatures in the 30s and lower 40s. And Friday, well, we are looking at partly cloudy skies, but with a northeast wind, it keeps us pretty chilly into the 40s and low 50s. And then the clouds increase into Friday night as we're watching the next system moving in on Saturday. Here's Saturday, 4 p.m. The rain is building in. We'll have the wind as well. But the good news is I think it's the first half of the weekend that is wet, and the second half will be blustery with more sunshine on Sunday, colder but drier into the early part of next week. Future rain, about a ½ inch to about an inch of rain, I think, with the system as we go into this weekend. And the winds get strong out of the southeast into Saturday evening, 30 to 40 miles per hour, gusting over 40 at times, and still pretty breezy as they shift to the west behind a front on Sunday. Here's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast. We're looking at 59 today. And then your Friday, some sunshine, 53. Saturday is a yellow alert day with the rain building in, some of that rain heavy. Remember, clocks go ahead 1 hour Saturday night, and then Sunday partly cloudy, 54, and cold to start early next week with some frosty starts, lows in the 30s, but then warming up with sunshine from the 50s to about 62 by Wednesday and partly cloudy.
Delaware is gearing up for its Severe Weather Awareness Week. It's from March 11th until the 15th. It's an important initiative backed by a coalition including the Delaware Emergency Management Agency, or DEMA, and the National Weather Service. This campaign is set to prepare people for the types of severe weather conditions, from thunderstorms and hail to tornadoes and flash flooding. DEMA says each day will spotlight a different hazard, offering vital safety tips to ensure everyone's preparedness.
Yesterday, dozens of volunteers at the Milford Food Bank of Delaware helped pack bags of food for students with food insecurity. It's part of the bank's backpack program. About half of the volunteers were students from Cesar Rodney's Strive program. The clear baggies were packed with non-perishable, kid-friendly foods that will go to students in need in both Sussex and Kent counties. Bill Shoup has volunteered for 3 years with the bank, and he has seen this need firsthand.
I've been in education for 30 years and 20 years at the college, and I always believe in giving back to the community. So when I saw this, I've been here 3 years, when I saw this I thought, oh, that's a good thing. And I came here and I really enjoy this.
Volunteers like Shoup helped fill about 1,000 bags of food. Up next on Coast TV News Today, Delaware Botanic Gardens raising money to study eagles, and we will tell you how that study could impact the entire ecosystem. We'll be right back.
In a critical election year, President Biden delivers his State of the Union address. How will he present his vision for America's future? Join Lester Holtz, Savannah Guthrie, and the NBC News team for live coverage tonight on NBC.
Thank you! It is so great to be back.
Your host, Josh Brolin.
What? No!
With musical guest Ariana Grande.
Shower Glass. Our name says it all. We provide the best custom shower glass on the shore in a fraction of the time, and our reviews prove it.
Shower Glass delivers the best fit, finish, and fastest service.
Reliable scheduling, competitive pricing, the best in the business.
They're the only one we call for Shower Glass.
Frameless beauty with speed, accuracy, and lifetime warranties. Shower Glass. It's all we do. Visit showerglassdoors.net to schedule your free consultation.
What does your future look like? Have you thought about your career path in this ever-changing world? What about a trade? Something like a plumber, welder, mechanic, electrician, or even a CDL driver. These are well-paid and future-proof trades that you'll learn by working at Daisy's Well Drilling. So if you want a great career leading to a bright future, consider the trades and then reach out to Mike, Daisy's Well Drilling.
Deal or no deal?
We have no idea what's going to happen.
Are you ready to see what's inside?
Deal or No Deal Island, Monday on NBC and Peacock.
Delaware Botanic Gardens hoping to raise some money for a camera to study bald eagles that have set up home in the woods of the garden over the last few years. You can find the eagles sitting high in the trees as you walk the paths. The garden's hopes by adding cameras, it'll allow them to continue the garden's mission.
We have the native plants. We're certainly building upon that. We're building the plant collections that we need here as a Botanic Gardens, but also we wanted to make people aware that providing a balance where the foxes and the groundhogs and the wild birds can actually live in a type of harmony and automatically keep each other under control is all part of the sustainable mission that we have here at the garden.
If you're an eagle and nature lover and you don't exactly want to wait for those cameras, don't forget you can check out the Delaware Botanic Gardens opening up for the season March 14th.
We are bringing back First Alert meteorologist Bob Trahy. Bob, Paige, we've had a lot of rain over the past week, and now, Bob, you have the numbers to show us how much we got.
Well, you know, we picked up over 2 inches from this event, and then the event before, guys, was about 3/4 to about an inch of rain. So grand total of about 3 inches. But from this event last night or yesterday afternoon into the night was impressive. Georgetown, 2.53 inches, a little over 2 1/3 for Slaughter Beach, Indian River Inlet, 2.35, Millsboro, 2.3, Rehoboth Beach and Bethany Beach, both 2.27 inches of rain, and the list goes on. Laurel, 2.2 inches, Dagsboro 2.10, over 2 inches in Lewis, a little bit below 2 inches in Harbison, Seaford 1.89, and Bridgeville 1.78. We get a chance to dry out for a couple days, but then more rain moving into your Saturday. I'll have more on that forecast coming up in a couple minutes.
Thanks so much, Bob. Also coming up after the break, IVF immunity impact. A bill protecting IVF in Alabama has passed. We're telling you what this means for providers and those hoping to start those treatments.
Also tonight, the president will give his State of the Union address. We have details on his plans for the country and his own campaign.
And ideas for rezoning. We'll tell you what could become to a piece of land across from the Rookery Golf Course in Milton. Don't go anywhere.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Imagine all the slopes you'll conquer.
Sick.
Imagine all the sights you'll see.
Wow.
Whoa, okay, how about you imagine dropping me off?
Right now, get a full-size Tundra with 1.99% APR or take up to $1,000 cash back from Toyota. Or check out an all-new redesigned Tacoma.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Elevate your business and engage more customers with Draper Media. Our diverse network of media properties such as WBOC, CoastTV, 93.5 The Beach, and 102.5 WBOC reaches over 500,000 Delmarva residents across various channels like television, radio, social media, and digital platforms. Enhance your brand's visibility across the Delmarva region with Draper Media. Our passionate team of media specialists and content creators are dedicated to showcasing your brand through engaging commercials, dynamic drone footage, eye-catching graphic and web design, and social media branding. Share your brand story on our popular programs, capturing the attention of your target audience. Trust your brand with Draper Media, a family-oriented company serving the Delmarva community. Contact Frank Hamilton today at fhamilton@wboc.com to get started.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
This is Coast TV News Today.
March 7th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paige Marley.
6:30 a.m. and we're trying to dry out. I'm sure yesterday there were some homeowners that had some basement problems with all that rain we received.
I didn't even think about that. Best of luck to you, yeah, for sure. Or like flooding in their gardens, maybe.
Yeah.
Although we were both maybe talking about doing some outside work today.
Just because there's a window where it won't be raining.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that much sunny. Although Bob did say maybe get your sunglasses for later today.
Yeah, just for when that sun peeks out, it'll make you feel good to put your sunglasses on, feel like it's spring. So let's bring in Bob right now. Bob, it should be an okay day for outdoor gardening.
Well,
No?
I don't know.
I'm
It's
doing
still
it.
pretty wet out there. Paige and Matt, I did see a lot of yards that were still flooded, a lot of water, so we still have a lot of water that needs to get into the ground. So we need a few days to dry out, I think, before we do any gardening. But we are still seeing some sprinkles, maybe light drizzle out there as we look at our radar. Laurel up to Bridgeville, seeing a few light sprinkles and showers. Long Neck up into the Lewis area, also seeing maybe a few showers as well. And we're still looking at this unsettled pattern over us right now. This trough of low pressure is just spinning over the top of us as the main event has now moved off to the northeast, but we're still dealing with the light rain and drizzle. And we're looking at temperatures 52 in Georgetown and Milton, 53 in Salisbury, 51 in Ocean City. Northwesterly winds around 6 to 12 miles per hour, and they will start to dry us out as we have the clouds this morning, some of that drizzle, but things will dry out through the day as the winds start to pick up out of the north. I think around noon, around 60 in Delmar, 58 in Millsboro, 57 in Georgetown. A little cooler along the beaches, and then temperatures falling into the afternoon with the clouds and a northeasterly wind. Here's your drive cast. Watch out for the large puddles this morning. I gave it the yellow light. A lot of that water spilling out of the ditches and out of the fields onto the roads. And then for the PM commute, I gave it the green light. Improving conditions and mainly cloudy.
Improvement, Bob. Change could be coming to a piece of land across from the Rookery Golf Course in Milton.
However, what could go there, still a mystery. Coast TV's Charles Reinert shows us what some options are.
The rezoning of this land just outside of Milton has been approved, but the mystery around what's going to be built is only growing.
Like a shopping center or maybe some additional places to eat.
Sussex County Council unanimously approved Ocean One Holdings LLC's request to change this land from agricultural residential to commercial. Effectively, what that does is open up a whole list of options for what could go here. According to Councilman Mark Schaefer, the developer's attorney said they could possibly build retail space and entertainment options, like a movie theater, for example. And he says the construction of the overpass that's already going on there makes it an ideal spot for development.
I've been preaching for years that we need to build roads and infrastructure before development occurs. And this is the perfect example of roads being built prior to development occurring.
Local Tim Roseborough says he is open to just about anything with one big exception.
I think we got enough housing developments around here. Like a shopping center or maybe some additional places to eat. I would welcome something like that.
While there is no definitive sign of what could go out there, one thing seems clear. There's no stopping the growth all along the coast. According to Schaefer, the developer will now have to go through the county's site plan approval process. I'm Charles Reiner, Coast TV News.
A new bill introduced in Delaware Thursday hopes to help victims of sexual assault, harassment, and discrimination. House Bill 327 places a higher burden of proof in retaliatory lawsuits. Those are lawsuits filed against the victim by the accused. In the event of a settlement, it blocks information about the assault, harassment, or discrimination from being made public. The bill is now under the review in the Judiciary Committee.
Lewis leaders continuing to work on the city budget. Mayor Andrew Williams and the city council are holding a workshop, and they will look at what's changed since their last meeting, explore new ways to make money for the city, and decide how to spend that money. The current proposed budget plan focuses on city safety activities for children and improving public spaces like nature trails.
Pedestrian safety back on the table for Fenwick Island. The town will meet to talk about safety on Route 1, specifically focusing on sidewalks, crosswalks, medians, and traffic calming measures. The meeting is slated for March 12th at 2 p.m.
More pushback against development in Sussex County. The environmental group Sussex Preservation Coalition is holding a public meeting on March 12th. Group claims to want to protect the environment and save open space. This meeting focuses on DelDOT's report on the 5 Points and Coastal Corridor and plans for Route 9 improvements. This meeting is 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Lewis Library.
Happening today, President Joe Biden delivering his State of the Union address. According to White House aides, this year's address aims to lay out an agenda that he can quickly take out on the campaign trail. Some of the items include protecting the Affordable Care Act, expanding efforts to relieve student debt and housing costs, and the president's also expected to call on both political parties to take action on issues including tackling the fentanyl crisis, increasing assistance for veterans, addressing mental health, and finding a cure for cancer.
Also happening today, the Senate is taking up a package of 6 spending bills that cleared the House yesterday. This is to avoid a partial government shutdown.
The bills fund the Departments of Commerce, Justice, Veterans Affairs, Interior, Transportation, and more through the end of September.
Analysts say keeping the rest of the government open past March 22nd could be harder. Party leaders don't yet have an agreement on that package, and that one covers the Department of Homeland Security.
And impeachment proceedings against its secretary are still in the works. Alabama lawmakers have now passed the IVF immunity bill. This after last month the state Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos are children with constitutional rights to life. The bill grants civil and criminal immunity for in vitro fertilization service providers and receivers. The legislation is designed to allow patients and clinics to immediately restart IVF treatments in Alabama. Many clinics paused IVF services after the procedure was thrown into uncertain legal territory by the Supreme Court's ruling.
More news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Still coming up, aiming for adoption. We'll tell you the latest event where you can bring home a furry friend without worrying about adoption fees.
Also, semifinal send-off. We look ahead to tonight's high school basketball playoff game.
And fighting against forever chemicals. We're telling you the efforts from DENREC to protect Delaware's water. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
Get ready for the ultimate outdoor experience. Join us for the DSN Outdoors Expo on Friday, April 19th from 4 to 8 and Saturday, April 20th from 10 to 4. Showcase your products or services to thousands of potential customers at the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. Increase your brand awareness and reach a large audience at the DSN Outdoors Expo. To apply as a vendor and for more information, visit WBOCEvents.com.
Did you know that named storms could add a wind damage deductible to your insurance claim? And the assessed value of your home is different than replacement cost? Know your policy and your deductibles. Review your coverage before disaster strikes. And if you do suffer damage, call the experts, Riptide Restoration, to guide you through the insurance process and help you maximize your benefits.
For more information, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Tunnel & Razor is a full-service law firm that locals have trusted for over 130 years. We specialize in personal injury, real estate, family law, estate planning, and criminal cases, achieving superior results through skillful representation and outstanding client service. We take the time to fully understand our clients' concerns and expectations, with multiple locations throughout Sussex County to better serve you. Our dedication to helping people is what creates community. Tunnel & Razor. Trust us to be your voice.
No strangers here, just friends you've not met yet. With an outside patio and inside charm, Irish Eyes Pub and Restaurant Milton is a local's favorite on the banks of the Broadkill River. Irish Eyes Pub and Restaurant Lewis, gorgeous views, free parking, and the best happy hour at the beach, with room for everyone. And for a truly special event, go no further than the Lewis Room at Irish Eyes. The panoramic views, in-house chef, and professional team will make it easy to plan your next event. Find out more at irisheyespub.com.
6:39 on this cloudy Thursday morning. Gutter helmet cam in Ocean View 51 right now, and we are seeing areas of patchy light rain and drizzle. You can see these dots of green showing up across Delaware right now. And do you need the umbrella? Probably not, but you can grab it just in case. We still have a lot of large puddles out there. Unsettled weather. We've got the clouds, and it will still rotate in some of these very light showers and drizzle through the morning hours. Out the door, temperatures in the low 50s. Winds coming in out of the northwest. So that will start to dry us out through the day. Boardwalk forecast, watch out. It could be a little slick out there. Cloudy skies, some of that drizzle, light rain early, and then drying out later, but still remaining cloudy with temperatures by 11 into the mid-50s, but a stiff northerly wind. Remember, call the First Alert weather line, 443-880-9100 for your latest forecast. Your forecast is just a call away. It's sponsored by Baird, Mendalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
Delaware is taking a stand against forever chemicals, also known as PFAs, that are found in everyday items and don't break down in nature. The state's health and environmental teams are working together to make sure your drinking water is safe from these chemicals. According to DENREC, the chemicals pose a significant threat to public health and the environment. They say the teams are now testing water all over the state.
If you're looking to improve the environment in your community, the Center for the Inland Bays is asking people to join its volunteer training sessions. The center will train volunteers for shoreline ecosystems or forest conservation, and these trainings are available both in person and online. Next training date is March 20th at the center's headquarters at 6 p.m.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Yeah, today's the day from the Bob. Dover boys basketball plays for a spot in the state final against Middletown. So here's a little bit more about the Senators, home of the 2024 Henlopen champions. But there's more in sight for head coach Stephen Wilson's team. And for a group that got knocked out of the playoffs by Seaford a season ago, they are hungry to go above and beyond in this 2024 postseason.
To finish off our mission, you know, we got to the Final Four, but that's not good enough. A lot of teams talk about getting to the Bob, but, you know, we want to continue to win and win our first state championship. So before we do that, we have to win every quarter in the semifinals first, you know. So that's what we think about, winning every quarter. If you don't lose a quarter, you don't lose the game.
Also tonight, UMES battles Delaware State in the season finale on DSN. The women can finish the season 15-14 with a W over the Lady Hornets and improve to 10-4 inside the Heights Center this season. UMES is coming off back-to-back losses, but the Hawks did top Del State by 30 on the road earlier this season. Tip-off of that game is slated for 5:30. After that one, the men's team tries to once again defend home floor. UMES fell to Del State by 4 in overtime earlier this season, but a win would be the Hawks' 9th of the year. All of those victories coming inside that home building. Again, coverage of that one beginning just around 7:30 tomorrow night. You can catch all the action right here on DSN. That'll do for sports. Have a great day, everybody.
Today in entertainment news, a new way to experience last year's biggest movie and the next movie for a current Oscar nominee. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Get ready for Barbie the Movie in concert. Macy Schmidt and the Barbie Land Sinfonietta, an all-female majority women of color orchestra, will perform the film's award-winning music as the movie is shown on a giant screen. The tour launches July 2nd in Tampa, Florida, with shows planned in 37 North American cities. More info at BarbieTheMovieInConcert.com.
The world expects brothers like you and I to walk in with our heads held down. Nah, what you gotta walk in like a king. Everything is yours.
I'm divine now. Yeah, this is my theater.
Now give me some love,
Here's your first look at Sing Sing, based on the true story of prisoners who found purpose and meaning in a prison theater group. The drama features Oscar nominees Coleman Domingo and Paul Raci and an ensemble of formerly incarcerated actors. Sing Sing opens in theaters this July. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Happy Thursday, Delmarva. Here's what's happening today at 4 on Coast Life.
Today is Hospitalist Day. We're going to be chatting with a local doctor to tell us more.
And if your life's just getting a little too dry, a little too boring, we're going to stir the pot. We have our Spill the Tea segment where we are talking about your drama.
That's right.
All that and more today at 4 on Coast Life.
Stirring the pot on Coast Life. We're looking forward to that. Lots of clouds this morning on our Boardwalk Plaza camera. 52. Watch out for a little bit of drizzle or light rain, but the trend is for drier weather the next couple of days and then more rain for the weekend. And then that's it for this round of rain. I'll have the details in your forecast coming up in 2 minutes.
Delmarva Sports Network is on the lookout for a social media promotions producer. Manage our digital scene and craft content that captures the spirit of local sports. Successful candidates have at least 5 years of experience and a passion for sports to produce thrilling videos that engage and inspire. Join our team and make a difference in how sports stories are told. Apply today at DraperMediaJobs.com. Draper Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Take your seat for the 8th Annual Ocean City Film Festival, March 7th through 10th. Enjoy 100 independent films and meet the people who made them. We're welcoming the legendary John Waters, live on stage with his Hairspray movie at the Ocean City Performing Arts Center on March 9th. Tickets start at just $59. Come on down and stay in an oceanfront hotel room starting at only $89 per night. Discover how to fest and get your passes at ocndfilmfestival.com.
From inside Iran, from Israel, from Florida. Part of our continued reporting. We're all safe. Everybody good? Women, children, established.
Get live satellite and radar. Download the free CoastTV First Alert weather app. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Weather brought to you by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to excellence in Delaware and Maryland.
At Coastal Comfort, we know there's no place like home. That's why we're committed to ensuring total comfort for a totally happy home. As a premier Carrier Factory authorized dealer, we're dedicated to providing reliable service and the best savings. Like now, through the end of May, with purchase of a qualified Carrier system, you can instantly receive up to $1,900 off. You could also qualify for up to $2,000 in federal tax credit. Coastal Comfort, a Carrier Factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
We're taking a live look right now at Rehoboth Beach. The sun trying to make its way up, Bob. Hopefully it gets through the clouds a little bit because, like you said, we need those puddles. We need our gardens. We need those fields dried up today.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen.
We need to dry it out, Paige. We just need to dry it out. And it's going to be a process. It's going to take a little while. Well, you know, once after you get a round of over 2 inches of rain, and we've had about 3 inches the last few days, it's going to take a while to dry things out. So just be patient. And as far as those rainfall amounts, impressive. Georgetown, over 2.5 inches for you, 2.53, 2.36 Slaughter Beach, over 2 1/3 for Indian River Inlet. Millsboro, 2.3 inches with Rehoboth and Bethany Beach both at 2.27, and the list goes on. Laurel, you had 2.2 inches, and Dagsboro over 2 and 800ths, and Lewis. Harbison, a little less than 2 inches for you. Seaford, 1.89, and Bridgeville, 1.78. So it was a soaker yesterday into last night, and that's gone now, the steady rain at least. We're still looking at a lot of clouds, and you see some dots of green. That's some very light drizzle, very light rain, as it's still pretty unsettled over the top of us right now. You can see the spin here. So even though the main moisture rain to the north, we're still looking at the unsettled weather over the top of us, even some showers off the southern tip of Delmarva, with the heavier rain now moving to the north and east. We do have a break back to the west to the Ohio Valley, but then look at this, there's actually more rain back through, well, Missouri and Arkansas as well, and that's going to be moving in here as we go into the weekend, so we're not done with the rain yet. Temperatures out the door, 52 in Delmar and Milton, 53 in Salisbury, Seaford 51, and the winds are coming out of the northwest, so that's a drier wind direction, but it will be a process for sure as we're looking at the clouds this morning, some of the drizzle, and I think as we go through the morning, the northerly winds pick up, and we'll see a few peaks of sun, and by around noon, we'll see upper 50s around Seaford and Delmar and Salisbury, but you get closer to the water and we're looking at temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and then we're looking at a northeasterly wind that's going to cool us off into the afternoon and evening through the 50s into the 40s. We do clear it out as we go through the overnight hours as temperatures fall through the 40s, upper 30s and low 40s, so colder as we go into Friday morning and a partly cloudy day as we go into your Friday, and it's going to be chilly with temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and then the clouds increase as we go on into your Friday night. Here comes the next system on Saturday, especially Saturday evening and Saturday night. That's where we're looking at some of that heavier rain, but we do dry it out into Sunday as it gets blustery and cold into Monday. As far as rainfall amounts with this last round of rain, about a half inch to about an inch, and the winds are pretty gusty coming in out of the south later Saturday and Saturday night, gusting over 40 miles per hour, maybe up to about 50 miles per hour into Sunday. So a windy weekend for sure. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Sunshine a little bit on Friday, 53, 55 Saturday with the rain showers. The clocks go ahead 1 hour as we go into your Sunday morning. Sunday blustery and windy, 54. Monday 52. We're going to have some cold mornings, maybe some frost early next week, but then temperatures warming up, 62 by Wednesday and partly cloudy skies.
Thank you, Bob. And for more weather updates, make sure to pull out your phones and scan the QR code, as Bob just talked about, for our First Alert weather app. You can download the app for free to get all the weather updates you need.
In Seaford, the city is planning its annual hydrant flushing. Flushing begins this Monday, and it starts on the west side of the city and then works its way east. The city says it should take between 4 to 6 weeks to complete, so it's very important. Check your water quality before washing your clothes or running the dishwasher or any other sensitive use during this entire period.
The Mulberry Landing boat ramp, that's within the Woman Wildlife area near Bethany Beach, is closed for construction. Denrex says this is to aim to pave and make the parking lot a little bit bigger. During construction, the agency says the wildlife area will remain open with alternative boat launches available at Holtz Landing State Park, Indian River Marina, and Rosedale Boat Ramp. The construction set to be done by April 14th.
Dewey Beach thinking about offering kayak and stand-up paddleboard storage. Town officials say they think it could provide more healthy, family-friendly activities in the town, and they say those racks would be located on the bay close to the kayak launch area. And the town wants to hear your opinions on this. There is a survey online if you want to fill it out.
Brandywine Valley SPCA is teaming up with North Shore Animal League America to mark the 24th annual Tour for Life event. This is a collaboration bringing the mobile adoption unit, that is a 40-foot shelter on wheels, to Dover's Petco Saturday, March 9th. Potential adopters will have the chance to adopt dogs and cats from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. And to make the event even more special, adoption fees for adult cats and large dogs that are over 40 pounds will be waived.
It's 6:51. What a perfect time to talk about our coastal pet of the day.
And our coastal pet of the day is a pup who embodies what I think many of us are feeling this week on Delmarva. This is our pal Benny, and he is so over all the rain we've been getting this week, Paige.
Yeah, look at that side eye. He's done with it. That's okay, Benny. You have a little break today from the rain. We do want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us more photos and tell us what makes your pet special.
You can scan that QR code at the top right center part of your screen. That way you can submit your furry friends to Coast TV News and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all of the pets we feature.
A cloudy start to our Thursday, but at least the heavy rain is gone. Maybe a little bit of drizzle, light rain this morning for a bit. And then the last system in the series of systems moves through this weekend with more rain for Saturday. We dry it out Sunday, then we dry it out for real next week and warm it up. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
Illuminations by Bellaterra. Customize your lighting vision with the only certified outdoor lighting designer in the state of Delaware. Aesthetics and functionality are key components utilized in our designs, increasing property value, beauty, safety, and security. Whether you're adding mood lighting to a patio space or improving visibility, Illuminations by Bellaterra will deliver exceptional lighting installations that will impress every time the sun goes down.
Call today to see how Illuminations by Bellaterra can light up your life.
Draper Media is searching for a full-time entry-level accountant. Successful candidates should have at least an associate's degree or equivalent experience. Candidates with experience in Sage Intacct will be given preference. It's an extremely detail-oriented job involving problem solving. Join the Draper Media team today as our next accountant with full benefits. Go to drapermediajobs.com to learn more and apply. Draper Media is an equal opportunity employer.
JoJo's in Salisbury serves fresh, homemade food in an upscale, family-friendly atmosphere. Enjoy delicious crab dishes like our colossal lump crab cakes or our creamy crab dip served in a fresh baked bread bowl and the best cream of crab soup in town. Try the new Pineapple Blast or wind down with our wine selection, beer on tap, and other cocktails. Have an event? Reserve your private suite or banquet room today. JoJo's Family Restaurant, where family dines together and dinner tastes better.
Deal. Or no deal. Welcome to the Banker's Private Island.
We have no idea what's going to happen.
We really don't know what we signed up for.
The biggest prize in Deal or No Deal history. Are you ready to see what's inside?
Deal or No Deal Island, Monday on NBC and Peacock.
Where are the kids, by the way?
I left them in the woods with some bread. That was 3 days ago.
Every family loves extended family.
Is this too dressy?
Not if you're a scarecrow.
Do you think less of me because I was married to him for 17 years?
Yes. I like you, Jim, even though you took some getting used to. So did you. So did you. So did you. So did you.
Extended Family, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
It's now 6:55. It's time for some things you need to know before you go. The Ocean City Police Department released their annual report detailing the crimes committed in Ocean City over the past year. And according to the report, special enforcement and narcotics arrests are down by 15%. However, major crimes are up by 6%.
In Rehoboth Beach, uninhabitable basements are apparently becoming a growing problem for the city. Commissioners there are raising concerns about the trend of converting basements into living spaces without the right safety measures. They say these spaces are often below the 6-foot 6-inch ceiling height requirement. The city made recommendations that include clearer definitions for basements and crawl spaces. No decisions were made at a recent meeting, but further discussion, and we are also expecting a draft ordinance to come.
Happening today, President Biden will deliver his State of the Union address. According to the White House aides, this year's address aims to lay out an agenda that he can quickly take out on the campaign trail. Some of the items include protecting the Affordable Care Act, expanding efforts to relieve student debt, and housing costs. The president's also expected to call on both political parties to take action on issues including tackling the fentanyl crisis, increasing assistance for veterans, addressing mental health, and finding a cure for cancer. Well, that would be nice. It is 6:56 now. Time for a quick look at your forecast before you head out the door.
Hey, Paige, Bob, let's try. Let's try and dry out today. Can we?
I'm down with that.
Bob, please.
It's a process. You know, it's not just like snap your fingers and it dries out, guys. Yeah. No, why not? Because that's the way nature works, Paige. Yeah, we are looking at, a condition where it's been just very rainy, rounds and rounds of rain, and we truly don't dry it out until next week, but we start the process today. This morning, maybe a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of light rain, otherwise cloudy skies, temperatures into the mid to upper 50s, and a stiff northerly wind. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast. We do clear it out as we go into Friday, partially 53, but then another system on Saturday brings more rain and wind, and probably about a half inch to an inch of rain, 55. Remember, clocks go ahead 1 hour into Sunday morning. Daylight saving time starts, and Sunday will be blustery and cold, 54. In fact, we keep it pretty chilly into early next week. Look at those lows in the 30s, maybe some frost early part of the week, but then warming up through the week. How about that? And look at that, the whole week is dry. Lower 60s Wednesday, mid 60s Thursday. But you know what a dry week means, guys? Probably rain on the weekend, and next Saturday it looks a little rainy.
Bob, thank you. And thank you all for joining us on Coast TV News Today.
The Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
We'll be back with Coast TV midday at 11, so stick with us.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Thursday morning, everybody.